Hello and welcome back to a new episode in our worst weapons run of Ultimate General Civil War. And today we are protecting our supplies at Parker's Crossroads. We can bring 10 brigades into this battle and they have organized in our 4th Corps. The infantry in our 1st Division is exclusively armed with the Springfield M1842, and within our 2nd Division we have Seamer and Hexamer with the Reboot Farmer and Bidwell with the Farmer Musket. 4 of our infantry brigades are very close to receiving their 2nd star, and therefore I have not reinforced them to the maximum. We are also going to bring a battery of 10-pounder ordnances and 6-pounder field guns, who are also very close to receiving their 2nd star. Last but not least, we bring our shock cavalry armed with the Palmetto M1842 and a unit of skirmishing cavalry armed with a sort of double-barrel shotgun. If you take a look into our armory, you can see that we still have 166 farmers left in stock, as well as 32 reboot farmers. And we have used up all of the available sword-offs. The 2 career points from our last fight were invested into medicine, bringing us up to a 60% unit restore. We took heavy casualties in the last fight, and we need to save every soldier that we can. And as you can see, the enemy is going to field roughly 10,800 soldiers and 16 artillery pieces, while we are going to bring 15,400 soldiers and 36 guns. But the main strength of our enemy is in the number of brigades. They have 25 individual units, while we only have 14. If we also include our skirmishers, we will have roughly 20 brigades that we can maneuver, and this leaves more than enough gaps for the enemy to exploit. We have established a temporary supply station at Parker's Farm in this road junction. Here we will meet with the rest of our brigades, and then we will head to Nashville to prepare our offensive in the Western Theater. The notorious cavalry commander Nathan Forrest is raiding West Tennessee, and it seems we have become his target. Our picket spotted his dismounted cavalrymen approaching us from all sides. We must hold the farm and all the supplies stored. Those weapons must not fall into enemy hands. Quickly take those defensive positions behind the fences. We expect reinforcements in about 2 hours, so there is hope that we can win this battle if we can hold long enough. Okay, the battle can begin and our soldiers are rushing into action. For now I'm going to follow the advice and send everyone into defensive positions. And we will simply have to hold. And we will simply have to hope that this is enough. I've sent out a couple of skirmishers into our rear to make sure it is that it is protected. Force, I actually do not want you over there. You're already quite weakened. Let's exchange you with Seymour. And Hexamer, you're going to take this position. Force, you're going to be a reserve in our center. If the enemy attacks from down here, we have 2 brigades ready, but we can also easily wheel them around if needed. Hexamer skirmishers, you're going to hold your ground, and I hope that Seymour is not going to be outflanked from this position. The same goes with Hexamer, who is holding this gap. Otherwise, Force and Hexamer will have to defend this without the defensive line. And over here we have spotted a couple enemy regiment. Skirmishers are already opening up fire. I guess they are snipers. Meaning that Seymour will have to rush out if he wants to get a good shot on the enemy. 10-pounders, where are you? I want you to open up on the 6th regiment from Kentucky. And it looks like we're actually able to hit the enemy, but casualties are rising far too quickly for my liking. Brooks, you can shift and hunt those skirmishers. Seymour, hunt those skirmishers. Good volley, we have routed those men. Brooks, you can come back now. Hexamer skirmishers, get up here again. Hunter's men are shooting into the rear of those skirmishers. Seymour's boys have so far only killed 9 enemies. Let's order them to fall back. They cannot hold out here for long. My plan is that we are going to retreat Seymour. Therefore, pull those skirmishers in and then plug the hole if we rush to this fence line. We have spotted more dismounted cavalry. Okay, they're coming from our left, it seems. Force the skirmishers, you can fall back also for a moment. Let's hope that this plan works. 10 pounders, if possible, shift your fire. The enemy is shifting with strong contingents to this flank. And I would like it if you waste your ammunition to actual targets and not to skirmishers. Can we now get Seymour back onto the defensive line? Maybe he's able. Yes, we're able to hit some of the enemy skirmishers. Hexmar skirmishers, you are not falling back. Down here, Hunt and skirmishers are holding back an enemy. Hopefully this is going to work out, at least for a little bit. These boys need to hold. We are hitting those skirmishers. Force the skirmishers, do not fall back. Hunt and skirmishers need to withdraw. 10 pounders, you need to shift on the 3rd Kentucky. Brook skirmishers, I'm going to send you over here as well. Brook, you yourself need to get ready, and you need to get ready on the double. You have the Springfield M1842, you might be able to do good volley here. Yes, they're getting ready. Hunton is now getting flanked. Oh, this might block the field of fire of our retreating boys. 3rd Kentucky is now wavering. Over here, Seymour is able to open up on those skirmishers. Force skirmishers are still pulling back and forth. Hexmar is able to fire. Very good. Brook, you're going to fall back. Brook's main force, shift and open up on that flank. These 10 pounders open up on the large concentration of forces. Come on, Morse. Hunton is getting flanked and is about to get routed. Let's get force up here on the double. Let's hope we can hold out with them. Seymour's boys are back. Let's get them forward, and we have now received news that more enemies are over here. Okay, Seymour and Brooks, you need to fall back. Hold against those cavalry advance. 10 pounders, you need to hold out over here. Brooks is now getting shot to bits. Hunton is withdrawing. Over here, these skirmishers are coming up again. 10 pounders, I'm ordering you to hold. And Brooks, you yourself need to shift slightly. Force, open up on those boys. Hunton is back. Let's order him to withdraw. I want him down here if possible. Or behind those guys. Brooks, open fire. You do not need to move anymore. Open fire. Just open fire. These 10 pounders are able to open up on the 28th Tennessee. Hopefully they're able to do that. These skirmishers are losing a lot of men. Hunton's boys are bleeding. Force is bleeding. Already took over 100 casualties. Can we get Hunton out? Or are these skirmishers going to attack his flank? Down here we are still holding. Nope. Hunton's flank is immediately going to get attacked. Let's get Hunton around here. And hope that our reinforcements are going to arrive quickly. 10 pounders, get ready. The enemy is advancing. Hunton, come on, fall back now. We need you down here, and we needed you there an hour ago, it feels like. Force is now done. Yeah, Hunton, back in our center. These supplies need to get down. Hexamer, you're getting out. Brooks is falling back. All of our forces on this flank have now collapsed. This is not looking good. Seymour skirmishers into this gap. Hexamer is the only unit still standing that is actually able to fight. Hexamer skirmishers over here are going to pull back soon. 10 pounders open up on these men down here. Enemy skirmishers are pulling up. Skirmishers, you need to pull up. Hexamer is now getting flanked. We need to close the distance. Maybe we can charge this unit out. No, we cannot. There are far too many, but at least we're not getting flanked anymore. And you guys, stop running. Supplies need to get down here. Sherman needs to get down here. Force. Move forward again. Brooks, move up. These 10-pounders are about to get overrun. Hexma, charge yourself. You have the numerical superiority. Our 10-pounders are now under desperate need of help. Can we get a good volley off here? Brooks is now back in the battle. Let's get him down. Hexama was able to drive away this unit. Let's order him to fall back. Maybe we can regroup down here. Sure doesn't look like it. Come on, Hexama, open up another volley while you're falling back. Very good. Always a fighting retreat, please. Down here, Force, can you charge down those boys from Tennessee? Major General Julian Dennison is killed. We have lost a divisional commander. Brooks, open up on those skirmishers. Seymour is falling back once more. These skirmishers are also falling back. Let's get those into cover to make sure our rear is somewhat protected. Hexama, please shoot on a large target in front of you. Brooks is getting flanked by those skirmishers. Let's order him to shift. Force is able to deal with those boys. Let's order him to shift now. No, 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 no. There's an enemy coming up behind you. Maybe your flank is going to hold. Seamus boys, push up. Hunton, open up fire. Your condition is good enough. Charge into that exposed flank. Hunton skirmishers, attack over here. Seamus boys, you're getting down. So far we have already suffered 20% casualties. But finally we are receiving reinforcements. We have Bidwell down here. Let's order him down immediately. Seamus boys, just hold your ground and stop running. Hunton is getting flanked, but they were able to deal with those guys. Force is down to 900 soldiers. And we have also finally received some cavalry. Let's order them down. 6-pounders set up over here. These are some terrifying losses. I wish I knew how many men we have already lost. Roughly 2,000. We can get 4,000 soldiers back after this fight, but not more. Shock cavalry get back. The enemy still has an absolute load of soldiers over here. Shock cavalry, you need to charge those guns. You're getting rear flanked. This unit might already be doomed. Brigadier General W. Krasnowski is killed. Luckily, we were able to drive away those skirmishers for a moment. Force, you need to get out again. Hunton is getting repelled once more. 10-pounders, open up on those boys from Tennessee. Solos, get into those from Kentucky. Bidwell, plug this hole in our line to distract the enemy fire. 6-pounders, you have suffered 4 casualties. I hope you're going to kill some enemies. Brooks, you're going to get over here. Seymour, hunt the enemy. Hunt and skirmishers, hunt the enemy. Brooks guys, get up over here. Hunton, move up. Seymour skirmishers, back into defensive ground. There is enemy cavalry coming up. Seymour, shift. How's the situation down here looking? The enemy artillery is almost wiggled down. We are driving away those forces shortly. And those guns are destroyed. Let's get our cavalry around the enemy so that we can hunt down some skirmishers. Appler is apparently trying to charge. Down here we are finally holding, even though our boys are exhausted. Hunton is hopefully able to deal with those skirmishers. Hunt and skirmishers, move down. Brooks, focus on those cavalrymen. Supplies, get down. Brooks skirmishers into this gap. Cavalry, get ready over here. Hexamer skirmishers, you are down to 89 soldiers. You can retouch. Hunt and skirmishers, hold your line. We depend on you. Brooks is getting flanked. Took already 400 casualties. 500 almost. Hunton, come on. There's an enemy up here shooting into Brooks' flank. And you need to hold it. What's so hard to understand about it? These skirmishers are going to be done for. We're going to send our cavalry in. Hunter, now hold your ground. Seema, shift. Come on. Open fire. He's right there. Open fire. Just shoot. At least something, not many casualties caused. Now we need to shift. Shock cavalry needs to fall back. We have broken a couple skirmishers over here. Supplies have surrendered. Our supplies have surrendered. How this is even possible, even though we have more forces over here, is beyond me. Those supplies are now back in our hand. And we might be able to deal with Appler. Seema, get closer. Down here we are dealing with those men from Alabama, but we are taking more casualties than we are dishing out. Bidwell skirmishers, can you get on the flank please? And we are dealing with those cavalrymen, they are now routing. Brooks, can you get on the flank of those men? Seema, you are going to pull up. Slow and steady, I do not want to exhaust you too much. And then we're going to charge them down. Finally, we are somewhat able to hold. All of our boys do not need to run anymore. Maybe they can claim to recover. We are driving away those skirmishers. Very good. Brooks skirmishers on the flank of those guys. Our shock cavalry is still hunting down Appler. Let's get our boys with the sword off down. And down here, Bidwell has arrived on a flank, but his flank is exposed himself. Swords, I want you to deal with those skirmishers. Bidwell's skirmishers are still holding. Bidwell himself took 300 casualties. Appler might be routed from the field for good. If not, he's unfortunately in our rear. I don't fancy that. Sherman, get closer to the boys. Solovs, get in, get a volley off, and then you're going to charge. They're falling back. Charge him down, charge him down. Our shock cavalry is still hunting down this enemy. Let's hope they are staying on them. Seema, you need to get closer again. And we have now lost over 4,000 soldiers, meaning that we are getting out of this battle weaker than we went in. These skirmishers at least were destroyed. Let's try to get those skirmishers now. And let's get those guys onto the enemy flank. The enemy is running out of ammunition. At least something that we can account for, but they still have more forces over here. Enemy cavalry over here either fled or nope, reorganized. Once more, man, attack. Once more. You have over 580 soldiers. You should be able to deal with them. Seema, you can get back here, Swordos. You're going to finish that job. Charge it. Brigadier General Evander Force is killed. Another experienced soldier. But at least we are driving the enemy back now. Swordos, charge. If we could at least make some of those men surrender, that would be really good. And it looks like our shock cavalry, even though they hold the superiority in numbers, are just dropping like flies. For every Confederate we kill, we lose 3 or 4 of our own guys. So let's just hope it is going to be enough. I think we might have just reached the point in the war where superiority in numbers is not going to work out against superior technology. Over here another enemy broke. Let's get hunted forward on these boys. Bidwell is still getting killed. He took over 460 casualties and was only able to kill 160 enemies. Oh. And over here it looks like our shock cavalry is also not going to survive, but they need to hold our rear. Seymour, get it on the double. Down here we have destroyed the enemy skirmishers. Let's push forward. And finally the enemy is withdrawing over here. Force is down to 590 soldiers. 900 of his men were killed. Eight minutes left, then we can finally end this bloodbath. And if it wasn't for our artillery, we would have had no chance winning this engagement. Soldiers, get up here. Oh yeah, we are barely killing any one of them. The Confederate weaponry is just a lot more precise. Can we get Brooks around? We have a very much destroyed unit down here. Our shock cavalry lost 200 soldiers. And we can now win this, and we can now finish this engagement. Let's do this immediately. And now this battle is finally over. With over 12,200 infanterists, 1,300 cavalrymen and 36 guns at the beginning of the battle, and after this battle over 3,900 of our infantry and 280 of our cavalry were killed or wounded. We have also lost 5 of our artillery pieces. The enemy on the other side had 9,700 infantry, 670 cavalry and 16 guns. They have lost over 4,300 of their infantry, 5 artillery pieces and 207 of their cavalrymen. We were able to achieve our goal, and the best unit on the field was Hexamer with 882 kills, followed by Hunton with 800 and Brooks with 686. Our casualty list is led by Force, who lost over 966 of his soldiers, followed by Hunton with 743 casualties and Hexamer with 682 losses. Within our officer corps, Lieutenant Colonel Rodney Hampton got promoted to Colonel, and those are the last of the good news. We have lost Brigadier Generals Evander Force and W. Krasnowski, as well as Major General Julian Dennison. We were able to rescue 22 of our soldiers, 232 farmers, and 445 rebound farmers, as well as one of our 10-pounder ordnances. And we also captured 110 Lorentz, 231 Patton 1853 Enfield, 434 Harper's Ferry M1855, 35 Remington M1861 and 218 Hunter rifles. In addition, we got another career point and 5 reputation, as well as $100,000 and 4,400 fresh recruits. This fight was a lot more costly than I had anticipated. On paper, we are now weaker than we were before, but I hope that with the wounded soldiers that we are able to rescue, we are going to break more or less even. We can see that Brooks has now reached its 2nd star, and even though Hunton, Upton and Seymour lost a lot of soldiers, they are still 1-star units. Our 10-pounders and 6-pounders are also close to receiving their 2nd star, so maybe if you're going to change some of the officers around, they are all going to gain more veterancy. But still, the enemy's superior weaponry is hurting more than ever, and it slowly becomes harder to replace our losses. Next episode we are going to fight in the Battle of Stones River. I thank you all for watching, and until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.